On this episode of Hot Rod Unlimited, I get to drive a 9-second dragster. Driving a rail is something I've always wanted to do, so I was really excited to get on a plane and head to zMax Dragway in North Carolina, where top fuel driver and instructor Doug Foley had invited us to get behind the wheel. There was only one small problem. Once we got there, I was really scared. So scared, in fact, that we couldn't use the original introduction because I look like I'm about to cry. And I'm gonna learn how to drive a dragster at the Doug Foley Experience. All I could think of was this. Luckily, Doug's school is set up to alleviate the fears of sissies like me, and he even brought in some special guests to talk us through the process. Courtney and Brittany Force are the daughters of multi-time NHRA funny car champion John Force. Courtney drives a funny car like her dad, the Traxxas Ford Mustang. And 2013 is Brittany's first year running a top fuel dragster in the NHRA Mellow Yellow series. The Doug Foley School is set up so even first-time drivers will be able to experience what it's like to pilot a fast drag car. The school has small bracket-style dragsters built to withstand the abuse of newbies and still make it down the quarter mile in under 10 seconds.
These are 180-inch wheelbase dragsters, very similar to a sportsman-style dragster. It's just purpose-built. We wanted to give people the opportunity to come out of the grandstands and feel what a dragster feels like.
What powers these?
It's a small block Chevy.
And they're carbureted, just naturally aspirated?
Naturally aspirated, carbureted with a power glide, 2-speed power glide. They can run on race gas and take some serious abuse from people like you.
And we're running at C12 or?
Yeah, we run a mixture of C12 and some lower octanes and kind of come up with something that really works well for it.
The cars we were driving are much smaller and more mild-mannered than the 4-second top fuel machines that Brittany drives. No nitro-burning Hemi here, but the 400-horsepower small-block Chevy moves the 1,500 pounds of dragster and driver without any problem. After the classroom session with Doug, it was time to suit up. Before I got to drive, I went for a ride in the 2-seater. Most tracks won't allow passengers in anything but 14-second cars and require a license for cars quicker than 10.0, so it's a big deal to get to experience what it's like to run so quick. The double dragster is powered by an 800-horsepower big block Chevy, and it clears the lights in 8.86 seconds at over 150 miles an hour. The launch on this car is enough to make your vision blur, and I was barely able to see again when they called me over to drive myself. This was it, do or die, hopefully not literally. Luckily, Courtney Force was there to give us some advice on how to calm down and focus on making it safely down the track.
A lot of people are nervous about, remembering a routine, and I keep telling them, just remember, keep it basic, go up there, don't try to mess with anyone on the tree, just do your job, and if you ever don't feel comfortable, you just gotta lift off the throttle. You can learn a lot just by watching these cars, and I'm gonna try to help walk them through, the staging process and the shut-off process down to the other end. It looks a little intimidating, it's gonna be a little nerve-wracking, but no matter what, you just gotta get in, you gotta try to suck it up and, fight the butterflies in your stomach, and it'll be a lot of fun.
When you're licensing for any kind of drag car, you're asked to make a series of short runs before you go all out. On the first run, I did a burnout and a 60-foot launch, then idled down the track just to get the feel of the car and the staging lights. I thought I was prepared for the violence of the launch, but man, it really slams you back against the seat. I was a little shocked. On the second run, the goal was to make it under power to half track before letting up. On this run, I really understood why driving instructors are always telling you to look ahead. I let my gaze wander to the mid-track cone and immediately found myself out of the center groove. This earned me a scolding back in the pits. On the last run, I was determined to make it all the way. I had 2 goals. Break into the 9s so as not to shame the Hot Rod name, and don't die. Mission accomplished.
Tell me what I did well and tell me what I did badly, because I know I made some mistakes.
Well, on the first run, you were just getting comfortable with it. That's why we do it incrementally. Second run, oversteered it a little bit, which I was a little concerned going on the third run, because you don't want to oversteer it going the full quarter mile.
You warned me not to look at the cones for the half runs, but I did it anyway, and I think that's what I was doing. I was steering into what I was looking at. On the final run, I just looked at the very far end of the drag strip, and every time I wanted to turn the wheel, I was just like, don't do it.
You kind of calm that down, went right down Broadway, 986, 131 mile an hour. I mean, considering you never drove a dragster before, what else could you ask for in 3
It's the
runs?
fastest I've ever been on a drag strip.
I'm hooked now. I think I might need to go back and get a license, and then maybe an alcohol car? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that was some serious fun. The Doug Foley School offers ride-alongs and classes all over the country, so you can test your bravery by getting in a dragster for a ride of your own.